Hey everybody, this is Clint at Manskull 101, and this morning I am loading some 44 mag rounds. You see me shooting these babies, so I thought I'd give you a quick synopsis on how I accomplish that. I'm going to try to make this short and sweet, so it makes a good short. So, first thing we need is 44 mag brass, like that. As you can see, that's de-primed. I already lubricated, sized, and de-primed those. The next thing we're going to need is some bullets, this is those Hornady XTP 240s. I like those a lot. They shoot well. And then I've got a small canister of H110, which is a great Magnum pistol powder. Let me see. And we're using the Federal Large Magnum pistol primers. So this process, I'm going to just show you something real quick. So right now I am re-priming these. Like I said, sized, lubricated, sized, and de-primed. So I like to use a mechanical re-primer, not the hand squeezy thing. I think there's too much variance in that. Because if I asked you to squeeze, I don't know, 20 foot-pounds. Okay, and you hit 20 foot-pounds and we've got it on a gauge. And then you do it again and again and again and again and again. And I bet there's going to be some noticeable variance there. With this mechanical, using your press and the die, I think that variable's gone. So, put them in the shell holder on top, give it a half turn, press it again. And I do that because I like to make sure that it's pressed evenly, not askew in the primer pocket. And then it matters that I turn it clockwise, because as I'm turning this, see that presses down like that. When I'm turning this, if I go clockwise, it's continuously tightening or retightening that little pin with the cup that holds the primer. I used to go counterclockwise. I was getting this variance of seating primer depth. I'm like, what the heck? And then I realized, oh, I'm unscrewing that. So I'm seating the primer deeper and deeper and deeper. Anyway, I don't do that anymore. Something I learned along the way. I thought I'd give you that point right now. Anyways, this is Clint at Manskull 101, signing out. Okay, so I just realized that's too long of a video for a short. So now I'm going to make a regular video out of it. So we'll go a little more in depth. So this is the box of the bullets that I'm using. Like I said, 44 caliber, 240 grain, XTP. These seem to be extremely reactive on various targets. I've shot them through pork shoulder blades, water jugs, that big block of clay, various items. And they seem to be more reactive. That's this bullet. Let's take a good look again. Then the Nosler 240 hollow point. And I'm pretty sure of this. I wouldn't say 100% sure, but see, this one has a large exposed lead tip. Again, this is a Nosler 240 grain hollow point. These seem to be a little bit stouter than the XTPs. You wouldn't think so because of the exposed lead on the tip of it. Seems counterintuitive. That's what I believe I've discovered. That's the box of these. So I'll get you a quick look at that. 240 grain 44 caliber. But actually, these are a 429 diameter. And these are a 430 diameter. So, there's 1/1000th variance there. Do I know which one shoots better out of all my guns? I've got 3 44 mags. No, I do not. But I think they all shoot reasonably well. And then I cast my own bullets. And I have some plated, like some Barry's plated bullets, like a truncated cone with a flat nose. And I wonder, let me check that here, if I can locate them amongst the melee. So these say, so check this out. These say max velocity up to 1850. Well, that's well within range. I'm shooting those, and these are 240s also, correct? Am I correct? Yes, 240 grains also. So get you a look at those. So I'm interested to try those and see what we get at a good carbine velocity into some various mediums of target. So that'll be interesting. Anyways, so moving on. You know, I did some testing with that carbine, that Ruger carbine, and came up with 1,600, about 1,650 foot-pounds of energy. Pretty impressive. Where with the 3030, I wound up with about 1,350 or 1,370. And I was surprised at that. I really was surprised at that. Like I say, I only have IMR 4895 to load that 3030 with, and it may not be the best power available, but it's up there. It's up there in the good range. So I'm running right at 2,000 feet a second, and it was about 1,360 or 1,370 foot-pounds of energy, which obviously everybody knows 3030 is a good, you know, brush gun, woods gun for deer. So, but the 44 mag definitely has an edge, right? 300 foot-pounds of energy. That's like stacking a 9mm on top of a 3030 at the same time. Not only in foot-pounds of energy, but bullet weight, right? Because a 9mm shoot, you know, 115, a 120, 135 grain bullet at 1,000 feet a second. This is rough numbers. But so then you would be up to now the same bullet weight, because you're adding 100 grains to that 150 grain round nose out of the 3030. Anyways, so substantial, I guess I digress. A substantial difference. A little bit surprising. One of you guys said that, yeah, but the 30 caliber bullet has a better BC than that 44 mag. I responded, I said, yeah, you're right, but at these ranges, you know, with those guns, what are you going to shoot? 100 to 200 yards max, I would say. Well, as it turns out, I was wrong, and so are you. But check this out. So that 240 grain XTP ballistic coefficient, here's the book I'm using. Which one is this? 11. I got so many reloading manuals. This is the 11th edition, I think the most current. It shows the BC at 205 on that 44 mag XTP, specifically that bullet. So let's flip back now, way back to 3030 Winchester. Got into the 28 caliber. We're getting close. 3030 Winchester. So the 3030 Winchester, let's get up here. 150 grain, yep. Round nose, ballistic coefficient 186. What? Another surprise, right? Just when you think you got it all figured out. So the 44 mag bullet was traveling at 1750, real numbers that I got, and a 205, and had 1650-ish foot-pounds of energy. 3030, real world numbers, I got 2,000 feet per second with a 150, which only came up to like 1360 foot-pounds of energy. So a little bit of difference there. Also, in addition to that, the ballistic coefficient of that big old fat short 44 mag bullet is better, which is surprising because I went, yep, you're right about that, just off the top of my head, looking at them, you know, intuitively. But that's not the case. So interesting, right? We both learned something. Anyways, let me see. I am using, I think I mentioned that already, H110, and I'm running 24.0 grains out of this manual, which is the Spear Reloading Manual, number 14. This one's a few years old. And I just want to double check. So there's a section in here, you know, where you're doing 44 mag pistol or rifle. And so I want to make sure I'm in the rifle section here. Yep, 240 grain. It shows, well, that's interesting. That's interesting. Look at the ballistic coefficient on this thing. So that's more like that Nosler bullet. The ballistic coefficient on that is showing a 122. So now that's substantially less than the bullet I'm using for the 3030. It was a 186, I think. But way less than the Hornady XTP at a 205. So there you go. There's some contradictory information. It really matters exactly the manufacturer and the specific makeup of that bullet, obviously. Anyways, load I'm using in the 44 Magnum. Make sure. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong bullet. That's 200 grain. I'm like, why does this not look right? So 240 grain. Now let's look at the ballistic coefficient. It's got about 1, 2, 3, 4 of them listed there, and they're all a little bit less than that 30-30 bullet. So that's interesting. That's interesting. I got the right bullet now. 240 grain, 44 mag at a 429 diameter. Ballistic coefficients are as follow: 0.165, 0.175, 0.175, 0.164. Interesting. And then I am running a max charge of 24 grains. You can see it there, of H110. And I worked my way up to that in both of the 2 of the 3 44 mags that I have. That Ruger carbine, the Deer Slayer. I love saying that. And a Ruger Red Hawk 44 Magnum. Anyways, and it shoots great out of both of those guns. I do have one more revolver, a Dan Wesson Model 44 with an 8 1/8 inch barrel. It's pretty cool. Got a little something going on with the cylinder lockup, so I'm not shooting that right now until I get that figured out. Anyways, I just thought I'd share this with you because I like reloading too. I've been doing this since I was 14 years old. So, man, that's that's 45 years ago. That's crazy, right? And started loading 12 gauge shotgun shells. Anyways, so I thought I'd throw this out there, make another video, get it on there for you guys to consume or not consume. Hopefully you like it, and we'll do more of these. Anyways, this is Clint at Manskull 101 signing out.